Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today will be a continuation of yesterday's first part of Galactic Heritage cards. Alright, so I explained in the very first video what we're going to be doing with these cards moving forward. Okay, so I'm going to pull again two cards to continue. The first message was already out there. This is going to be the second part. Okay. I call in my spirit team, my higher self. This is for collective reading on Galactic Heritage cards. I'm gonna do the shuffle. I'll come back. Okay, so I did the shuffle and all of that. So what they have today is guilt, past, and it says Pleiades. Today they're going to talk about guilt, Pleiades, and the past. And then for the second card is going to be New Paradigm, Andromeda, which is parallel. We spoke about that. Go to the first video to see the whole thing before you come to this video so you can have a broader understanding of what we're doing here today. All right, so 41. And again, this is continuation. This is the second part of what we spoke about yesterday. All right, so guilt, past energy, Pleiades. So whoever resonates with this, let me know in the comments down below. That'll be interesting to see who is in line with these things. So it says Pleiades, guilt, past. In the ancient days, well-intentioned actions by Pleiadians ended up causing a whole planet to be destroyed. Since that time, they have held tremendous amount of grief and guilt as a species. They have healed a lot since then, but many humans still carry these patterns. Look deeply at the things in your life and what you feel guilty about. The wisdom you have now can create compassion in your heart. Let the compassion flood the wounded part of you. Let the love from the universe fill the part of you where the guilt still lives. Let it go. All is forgiven by the universe. Now you must forgive yourself. This card is a very connected card to the number 40 and refers to something that happened in the Pleiadian past for which they still carry a tremendous amount of guilt. All right, so it's referring to another card. So this card is, they're connecting it with number 40. I'm going to go read number 40 before I continue so you can have understanding. So this card is connected to stubbornness, again with the Pleiades, and it's also a past card. And it says, this message relates to having a fixed idea of how things should be and trying to force reality to fit that picture. This was a strong trait in the ancient Pleiadian culture, which created many problems for the civilization. Some of us still carry this habitual pattern. Take a look at the situation you want changed. Be honest and see if you're trying to force a reality that doesn't exist in the now. Be truthful. In order to make a change, we must fully accept and relax with the situation as it is. Only then will things change in a natural way. It says this card also linked to 39, which is also Pleiades, a past card. It says imbalance in position, polarity, and past. So again, one card leads to another and another. This is why I'm gonna do it in parts, because it goes, like I said, it goes down a rabbit hole. So 39, in the ancient Pleiadian history, one of the core lessons of the species had to do with denying the shadow side within. They only wanted to focus on the positive and habitually suppress their dark aspects. It is important to recognize and embrace all aspects, dark and light, in your life now. Try to see where you suppress your darkness inside, such as emotions, pain that you don't want to feel. See it, love it, and dialogue with it. Use it as a part of your growth. In doing so, you will heal many old habits and patterns from lifetimes past on earth and in the stars. It works. I've done this. Okay. This card represents one of the core lessons of the Pleiadian people when they were a young species. They had a tendency to push away the negative emotions and only acknowledge the positive in life. This unprocessed emotions festered on a collective level and after millennia. So it's been a long, long time. Excuse me. This submerged energy had to be released. This unconscious negative energy created an immune system disease that ravaged the Pleiadian people. So that being said, if you guys know anybody with immune disease, I'm not a doctor, but things that happen in our health and our life can stem from, like I said, past lives, not only on this earth, but other planets and other lives we may had in the past, like the Pleiadians is saying right now. So if you know anybody or yourself are suffering from immune disease, maybe you have to do some healing, internal healing, and let go of these things that I'm talking about. So listen carefully, because you can help yourself and others knowing this information. And if you need help with that, DM me, and I could help you guys with this too. All right. And I'm going to read that again. These unprocessed emotions festered on a collective level, and after millennia, this merged energy had to be released. This unconscious negative energy created an immune system disease that ravaged the Pleiadian people. No one could find a cure. It wasn't until they sought help from the shamans of their society that they fully understood what was happening. After much inner searching, the shamans realized that the repressed negative energy on a collective level was creating this immune disease. Again, I do shamanic work. They made many suggestions to release this energy, and eventually the disease disappeared. Humans are genetically most connected to the Pleiadian people, and we have a tendency to do the same thing, to push away our unpleasant emotions and the dark aspects of our psyches. Many of the diseases we face today are because of these repressed emotions. If this card came up in this reading, in your reading, whoever resonates with this, you most likely had experiences in the Pleiadian system during this era in which this issue of repressed emotions was happening. It also is a message to continue to stay connected to the emotions you are feeling and never push them away. In other words, embrace your emotions, whether it be anger, frustration, let it go through the emotion. Acknowledge the emotion. If it's anger, scream in your pillow. But don't suppress it. Don't kill people either. But what I'm saying is, like, don't hit people. Don't do it for bad things. But don't suppress your emotions, because it could target your immune system and so on. You know, stuff like that happen. You can write about them. Yeah, this is a way of, like, you could journal them. You could go for a walk, go running, do exercise, if you know, stuff like that. So it says write about them or face them, embrace them in meditation. Most importantly, recognize it. Like when it comes through, recognize it's anger, recognize it, and it's okay. If you make a commitment to this process, you will live a happier and healthier life. All right, so back to the stubbornness card. Okay, this card, like the 39, the one we just read, also represents one of the most painful lessons of the Pleiadians from this era. When the species was young, they were very idealistic, much like teenagers of today. They had a view of how reality should be, and they sought to force the visions on others. This is often a challenge of new species when they are young. Earth humans have this trait as well. During the dark times of Orion, and it says see cards 35 and 38. I'm going to go to cards 35 and 38. That's what it says, card 38 and 35 and 38. 35, deep polarity. It says past and past, and it talks about the Orion, both of its Orion, past and past. It talks about the black leaf patterning and the deep polarity, right? And we spoke about this in the first video. So if you haven't seen the first video, go and see what we're talking about. So we pulled out, like it says here, the cards. The Orion people, like I said, I showed you the cards. They're both like Orion past. The Orion people were in a lot of pain. The young Pleiadian species felt it was their duty to bodily come into the Orion system and force the empire to free its people. So the Pleiadians took it upon themselves, because everything for them is like positivity and da-da-da, so they took it upon themselves to go rescue, and this is what happened. These Pleiadians were blind to the fact that they were creating karma for themselves and meddling in a situation that was not theirs to fix. In response, the Orions destroyed a planet in the Pleiadian system that was known to be one of its most beautiful. They destroyed the planet. The Orion destroyed the planet of the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians were stunned and traumatized, but it was the experience they needed to grow up as a species and drop their arrogance from their Lyran forefathers. See card 18. See, this goes down a rabbit hole. Now it's sending me to 18. So I went back in the book to 18, and it says arrogance. I'm not gonna pull up the card arrogance, right? One of the more negative Lyran traits is that of arrogance, the belief that only they know what is best. In ancient days, they pushed their agenda and beliefs on many civilizations, resulting in dire consequences. Humans have this tendency as well. Often, the intentions are good, but the outcome is not. Examine your own inner motivation for the things that you do. Is there a feeling of superiority? Conversely, is there a feeling of inferiority within you? This is an ancient pattern. Do not concern yourself with others' opinions or actions. Tend your own garden, which leads to true inner peace. This is the final Lyran card of this time stream. The Lyran's traits is shared by humans, and both Lyran and human culture have to transcend the challenge before they can evolve as a species. The Lyrans eventually evolved beyond it, but it was difficult. There were times the Lyrian passed when arrogance almost destroyed them. And unless humans move beyond arrogance, we may not only destroy our planet, but our species as well. Damn. Again, unless humans move beyond arrogance, we may not only destroy our planet, but our species as well. If this card comes up in your reading, truthfully, look at where arrogance may play a part in your life. It is in your beliefs or actions, your attempts to control others. If you honestly do not find any, then look at those around you in your life. Is their arrogance affecting you in negative ways? If so, it is a lesson for you to access your strong, confident Lyran energy in a balanced way and keep your personal boundaries intact. Often, we teach people how to treat us through our actions or non-actions. Take a good, honest look at how this theme plays out in your life and take whatever measures are needed to create balance from a place of loving kindness. Back to 40. They left the planet of a lifeless shell floating in space. You see the planet right here? To always remind, so when they destroyed the planet, they left it like that. They left that planet's lifeless, still floating in space. So lifeless, still, it was still floating in space. To always remind them to their own ignorance. If this card comes up in your reading, look at the surrounding cards. It may be about a connection to that you have in this time in Pleiadian history. Or it may simply be a warning about becoming attached to your beliefs about how things should be in reality and a stubborn drive to change them according to what you feel is right. All right, so I'm gonna go to 38. 35. Okay, taking me to 35 first. It says deep polarity, past card, Orion. All right, all these are past. In ancient times, the Aryan civilization played out the deepest of polarity during a very dark time in their history. Many souls of Aryan eventually came to Earth to heal this polarity through incarnation as humans. If you have pulled this card, then an Aryan lifetime of yours still has some influence in your life today. These karmic patterns are ready to be released. Examine your natural human tendency to polarize in thought and belief, and ask the universe to help you heal this. Also know that this is a major issue for the entire planet at this time, and your healing affects the whole as well. In ancient times, Lyran civilization, including Vega, expanded, creating the Aryan colonies. The Aryan civilization is known as the group within our galactic family that experienced the deepest polarity. These memories affect us on Earth, and many humans are still playing out the karma from Orion. The best pop culture referred is that of movie Star Wars, in which there was a corrupt empire that attempted dominion of planets and people through very sinister methods, including the manipulation of consciousness and energy through psychic and metaphysical powers. Within the full spectrum of the experience of our galactic family, from unity to fragmentation to recognition, this era in Orion was the furthest from unity and the deepest one of separation. If you have pulled this card, it is most likely that you had experiences in the Orion system during this dark time, and most likely this carry painful memories within you. Therefore, it is very important not to repeat the patterns from Orion. Seek to embrace non-polarized thought here on Earth, for it will be one of the only paths towards integration and healing. Move beyond good and bad, right and wrong, or dark and light. Try to see every condition as an aspect of creation rather than seeing through eyes of separation or judgment. Remember the yin-yang symbol, dark within light, light within dark. Essentially, the universe is in perfect balance. It is only the human mind that creates polarity. It is an important understanding for the next step in human evolution. All right, so that was we got all these cards from this card, right? All these popped up. And next, I'm going to continue with the second card that Spirit pulled in a minute. Okay, so the second card that was pulled today was this one. New paradigm is parallel, and it says Andromeda. So you remember what Andromeda is. If you don't, go to the first video, which explains everything. Okay, so it says, every culture adheres to a specific paradigm of reality. Earth's paradigm has to do with polarity. The Andromedan paradigm is about experiencing the unexpected and being in a constant state of change. When we are in foreign terrain where we don't know the rules, we have to use our inner compass to navigate. We all have one, but few know how to use it. This card tells you that change is coming, both to your planet and your individual life. Learn how to operate in a foreign paradigm by accessing the inner compass. Compass, however you say that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Our evolution can be not only painless but joyful. The commentaries for cards 3, 4, and 5 will help you understand how to apply the wisdom for this card. Okay, so it says 3, 4, and 5. So we're going to go to 3. Change. Okay. It says Andromeda again, parallel, change. Okay. In physical reality, change is constant. We spend so much time and energy trying to keep things the same that we miss the profound experience that change brings. Andromedans live in a very unusual reality paradigm, that of constant change. The change is so dramatic that the only way to orient yourself in reality is to have a strong inner compass based on consciousness. You have pulled this card because either you have a strong connection with Andromedans or you have change or you love change. Or you need to connect with Andromedan energy and let go of the fear of change. This is your next lesson. It may seem odd that the energy of the galaxy outside of ours is being utilized in this deck. The reason for this is that you can see yourself more clearly when there is a contrasting idea that can serve as comparison. The energy of Andromeda galaxy provides the contrast to help us see ourselves more clearly. Within the template for experience in our reality lies the issue of polarity. This is a primary theme we must explore in our way back to wholeness. In addition, we have a tendency to like things to stay the same so that we can feel safe and secure. This part of our nature is based on ego need. Ego. And until we transcend the need, we will always stay stuck. Living in Andromedan reality requires us to create an anchor to reality in our consciousness rather than the outside world. This is an important concept that actually has to do with how humans will eventually master space travel. It is also profoundly connected to spiritual awakening. Therefore, Andromedans act as masters and guides for our evolution, teaching us to move from polarity and the fear of change, to integration and the embracing of the changing nature of reality. If this card appears in your spread, look closely at your relationship to change. Are you addicted to it or do you fear it? Perhaps it is time to forge a new relationship with one of the only constant of life, which is change. All right, so that was 6, 3, back to 6. All right, so the commentaries for cards 3, 4, and 5 will help you understanding of how to apply the wisdom for this card. Again, this card is the new paradigm. Because the information provides insight into the nature of Andromedan consciousness in contrast to the challenges of life as a human being. Once we have made progress in acknowledging and living as our true nature, a fluid state of integration is constant change and evolution. The natural result is the creation of a new paradigm. This is one of the reasons for turmoil on Earth now. The evolutionary directive for growth is conflicting with the habitual fears of change. That kind of conflict creates a circumstance in which it seems that nothing in a societal or planetary level can move forward. Progress becomes stuck. While this may be happening on Earth now, it may also be happening within you. When you stop residing change and always seeking safety, you create a new empowered paradigm through which you can live your life. This personal paradigm shifts greatly affects the mass consciousness field of Earth and fosters a planetary paradigm shift as well. So if you change within yourself and start changes, you're not only changing yourself, you're changing the whole consciousness and the planet, you know? But first, you have to walk into the unknown with the only map that matters, the one that comes from within you. The Andromedan consciousness is always supporting you. Their energy gently guides. Remember, the Andromedan energy is like the guides of the Earth, planet Earth. Their energy gently guides and encourages a profound personal and planetary shift in continuous based on the pure fluid nature of consciousness itself. So, let me read number. So we have out here number 2 that says pulse of life. Galactic core is also parallel. Like a great galactic clock, the galaxy's core calibrates the rhythm of the evolution of consciousness through its waves emission. So what I'm gonna do, because from this, the second card that we pulled, like I said, they always go down a little rabbit hole. So it has 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So number 2, pulse of life. Like a great galactic clock, the galaxy's core calibrates the rhythm of the evolution of consciousness through its wave emissions. Ancient civilizations, such as the Maya, were fully connected to it and were able to plot a galactic calendar using this wisdom. All life, including you, can feel this pulse from the core. Look out into the night sky and connect with the dark spot in the Milky Way. Let yourself breathe in this energy, resetting you to the natural pulse of the universe. You cannot rush evolution. This is the card of trust. Let go and allow the universe to work through you. While creating spans in infinite number of galaxies and states of consciousness, this card represents the energy of our home galaxy. At the center of any galaxy, the core acts like a metronome. Metronome. Almost like a heartbeat that guides the space of evolution of all the consciousness in that particular galaxy. The Maya and other ancient civilizations understood this great role played by the galactic core and were able to interpret this pulse through their advanced calendar system that described the process of evolution from separation back into unity. Everyone is attuned to this metronome, metronome, but only some can feel it. In the year 2012, our solar system crossed over the galactic disk, beginning a new 13,000-year cycle of evolution. We are now able to access a whole new energy that facilitates integration and evolution during this new cycle. Some have also called this a rising of the cosmic feminine. If this card has come up in your reading, then it is either acknowledging your innate connection to this galactic pulse, or it is encouraging you to begin developing it. When you do this, the cosmic plan unfolds within you, and it becomes so much easier to connect with the higher self and flow with the natural current of your life instead of trying to manipulate events with the ego personality. Connecting with this energy brings a tremendous sense of peace and stillness and truly facilitates your journey back home. So number 3, change. Andromedan energy, which is parallel again, the guides of the earth. In physical reality, change is the only constant. We spend so much time and energy trying to keep things the same, and we miss the profound experience that change brings. Andromedans live in a very unusual reality paradigm, that of constant change. The change is so dramatic that the only way to orient yourself in reality is to have a strong inner compass based on consciousness. You have pulled this card because either you have a strong connection with Andromedans or and you love change, or you need to connect with Andromedan energy and let go of the fear of change. This is your next lesson. It may seem odd that the energy of a galaxy outside of ours is being utilized in this deck. The reason for this is that you can see yourself more clearly when there is a contrasting idea that can serve as a comparison. The energy of the Andromeda galaxy provides the contrast to help us see ourselves more clearly. Within the template for experience in our reality lies the issue of polarity. This is a primary theme we must explore in our way back to wholeness. In addition, we have a tendency to like things to stay the same so that we can feel safe and secure. This part of our nature is based on ego need and is based on ego need. And until we transcend that need, we will always stay stuck. Living in an Andromedan reality requires us to create an anchor to reality in our own consciousness rather than in the outside world. This is an important concept that actually has to do with how humans will eventually master space travel. It is also profoundly connected to spiritual awakening. Therefore, Andromedans act as masters and guides for our evolution, teaching us to move from polarity and the fear of change to integration and the embracing of the changing nature of reality. If this card appears in your spread, look closely at your relationship to change. Are you addicted or are you in fear? Perhaps it is time to forge a new relationship with one of the only constant in life with which is change. So number 4, confusion, Andromeda energy parallel again. Confusion. We often feel safe and secure when things stay the same. When things change, we feel a profound sense of disorientation or confusion until we can realign ourselves in the new reality and build a map for navigating it. To help this process, try to see that often the same messages or life lessons are being given to you in different packages. Find the continuity in these different messages and you will ease the confusion. Confusion is only the fear that you don't have a map for the reality in which you find yourself. The Andromedans are masters of change and rising above confusion. Let their energy guide you. In order to understand this card, you must understand the concept explained on card 3. We did that already. The idea of constant change is actually embraced and understood by Andromedans because they see the fear of change as being connected to the state of attachment to things, ideas, or ways of being can deeply hinder awakening and growth. Therefore, Andromedan reality reflects these principles. When we walk down the street, we see a constant reality that seemingly doesn't change, but an Andromedan reality, which is more aligned with the true state of pure consciousness, reality changes constantly as a reflection of the observer. This is true for human also, but we haven't yet understood this fact. If people cannot or will not embrace change and create a safe harbor or anchor in their own consciousness rather than the external world, they will experience a profound confusion and fear when reality inevitably changes and they feel lost. They then become distracted by the phenomena, positive or negative, of the manifested 3D world. It is like a compass that has stopped working. They lose touch with their inner sense of direction and focus. This card is speaking about that state. If it comes up in your reading, it is usually a warning to not stumble to this trap of physical reality and to examine your life to see where you have accepted illusions and truth. Once again, there are many Andromedan guides and masters who can assist in this. Which brings us to fluidity, which is number 5, Andromeda parallel. The nature of consciousness is to be fluid, to flow with the natural currents of the universe. But life in a physical body often causes us to be rigid, whether in beliefs, actions, or emotions. Andromedan consciousness is very fluid also. You know how to be this way initially as well. Take some time every day to connect with the Andromedan energy and practice going with the flow. See how your life changes when you don't try to control your reality. This isn't about becoming a victim. Let yourself serve the universe energy instead of trying to control it. See what happens. To understand the concept of this reality, it is recommended you read the commentaries for card 2, 3, and 4. We did that. We did 2, 3, and 4. Now we're at 5. Of particular importance is to remember one reason why the Andromedans are our teachers, because they offer a contrasting reflection in which we can see ourselves, particularly regarding the human qualities of rigidity, resistance, and attachment. Continuing with the theme of what the Andromedans have to teach us, this card speaks to the results of embracing change, letting go of confusion, and remembering our natural state of fluidity. This inner quality is extremely important because when we incarnate into more dense realities like the 3D, Earth, we will experience a greater degree of suffering if we do not remember our true fluid nature. If this card appears in your reading, look at the other cards surrounding it. So how can it be applied? Perhaps it is acknowledging this part of your nature, or maybe it is challenging you to find your fluidity as a way to end your suffering. In any case, as planet Earth goes through its transition, the quality of fluidity is our consciousness becomes an essential skill that will serve to carry us into new paradigms of being. Without fluidity, we will simply be forever stuck in the old, recycling the belief patterns that hindered evolution. The natural state of consciousness is fluidity. Let yourself tap into that truth and know that the Andromedan consciousness is there to assist when needed. Which brings us back to the one we started with number 6, Andromeda New Paradigm. I'm going to read it again. Every culture adheres to a specific paradigm of reality. Earth paradigm has to do with polarity. The Andromedan paradigm is about experiences the unexpected and being in a constant state of change. When we are in foreign terrain where we don't know the rules, we have to use our inner compass to navigate. We all have one, but few know how to use it. This card tells you that change is coming, both to your planet and your individual life. Learn now how to operate in foreign paradigm by accessing the inner compass. Our evolution can be not only painless but joyful. Okay. Once we have made progress in acknowledging and living as our true nature, a fluid state of integration in constant change and evolution, the natural result is the creation of a new paradigm. This is one of the reasons for turmoil on Earth now. The evolutionary directive for growth is conflicting with the habitual fears of change. The kind of conflict creates a circumstance in which it seems that nothing on a societal or planetary level can move forward. Progress becomes stuck. While this may be happening on Earth now, it may also be happening within you. When you stop resisting change and always seeking safety, you create a new empowered paradigm through which you can live your life. This personal paradigm shift greatly affects the mass consciousness field of Earth and fosters a planetary paradigm shift as well. But first, you have to walk into the unknown with the only map that matters, the one that comes from within you. The Andromedan consciousness is always supporting you. Their energy gently guides and encourages a profound personal and planetary shift in consciousness based on the pure, fluid nature of consciousness itself. All right, so that's what we have for the second part. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Like I said, these cards go down a rabbit hole, as you can see. So this is just the second part, and you see all these cards that came out just from 2 cards, right? So I'm gonna do part 3 tomorrow, moving on forward. So I hope you like it. I hope this resonates with you guys, and let me know down below the comments what you think about this and who resonate with this. Let me know. It's interesting to see who is pairing with these energies. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Until the next one, I'll do part 3. I'll put it up. All right, thank you. Bye.